You are live on Friday, October 14th for the Wrestling Inc. podcast after SmackDown and Rampage. And this won't be the first time in the next 7 days we see WWE and AEW on the same night, but we'll get more into that later on in the show. I am Alfred Konuwa here with Wrestling Inc., joined by a returning champion, NYC Demon Diva. Glenn is on assignment. Issa, what's going on?
Not much. I'm excited to talk. There was some good stuff tonight, and then there was Rampage.
That kind of seems to be a theme based on the slotting of these two shows. But yeah, we'll get into both shows. Some stuff happened, of course. There was a big return from Bray Wyatt that we will discuss. Before we even get into the news, I know that's the big story on everybody's mind, so we might as well just dive right into it. What were your initial thoughts on the return of Bray Wyatt, how they rolled it out? How did you like it, Issa?
What they did tonight was special and very, very surprising. I wasn't expecting it, and I just really, really enjoyed it. I don't know. I'm a big Bray Wyatt fan, so it's very hard for me to be critical. But everything that they done, the way they handled this return, has just been done. It's being executed to perfection. There's nothing that I would change at this point.
Yes, I do think that the production values have been great with Bray Wyatt. It is awesome to see him back. I did enjoy his new theme music, which I've been looking for the title of it. I haven't been able to find it quite yet. Yeah,
like
but it's very good. It did.
But I'm gonna have to get used to it.
Absolutely, because the thing is, he's 2 for 2 now with theme music, because he had what I believe is one of the all-time great theme songs.
3 for 3.
Original. Yeah, and now 3 for 3, obviously. But I mean, coming into it, he already had 2 what I thought were bangers of theme songs. Yeah. And then now he changed it up again. It's more fast-paced. You know, we're kind of used to a slower pace with Bray, but it's more fast-paced. And it does slap. It's got like, it has a Linkin Park Slipknot type feel. And I know he's a big fan of Slipknot, but I don't know who sings the song, but I was very much interested in it.
Yeah, it was very, very good. I just remember when the Fiend made his first entrance, that whole moment is one of my favorite Bray Wyatt moments. And then once it clicks on you that it's like a remix or like a hardcore version of his old theme song, it just kind of tugs in the feels. But if this is going to be a whole different gimmick, a whole different Bray Wyatt, I'm here for changing everything about the presentation as far as the entrance music goes. It was very good. I was doing the same thing while watching Rampage. I'm like on Twitter trying to figure out, did they put out this song? Because I really need to check it out like on its own.
Yeah, and it looks like it's going to be very involved. I hope this is something that takes time, because with Bray Wyatt, whether or not it's good, it might be great, it might be something that we're shitting on in 3 months. Either way, all I care about with this angle is that they take their time and they don't pull the rug from under him, because to Bray's credit with the Fiend, there were a couple of times where he was on his way to becoming something very interesting and compelling, only for them to pull the rug from under him because of last-minute changes. And I just hope with this director of long-time creative and the story that they began tonight that we'll talk about, that they do seem to be peeling back the layers. I'm glad that they're at least taking their time, because I think that's all he needs.
Yeah, and I'm glad to say that I have high hopes on creative right now. Everything in WWE feels like anything is possible. You feel positive about the way things are going. So I'm very positive, looking forward to what they do with Bray Wyatt. I felt that way, when I first saw the Firefly Funhouse segments were like my most favorite thing ever. I thought he was killing it. And then we have,
Glenn, whoa! Were you here today?
What? I'm out next week.
Oh, I thought it was this week. I thought it was Friday through Tuesday.
Jesus
my goodness!
It's night. Oh my God! I'm falling asleep here. We're on the air.
We're on the air.
That is amazing. Live television, ladies and gentlemen. This is live broadcasting. Glenn, what did you think about Bray Wyatt's return now that we have you here?
Hell of a segment. Yeah. Feel bad that Rampage had to follow that.
Yeah.
Yes, very good point.
We don't know dates. Okay, that's all. Chat, chill. We don't. Me and Alfred.
I can't believe I could have skipped tonight. So I am like sitting here sipping an energy drink. I've got my Amazon brand Solimo White Energy, which I'll just let your imaginations run wild as to what white energy tastes like.
Is there an African American energy flavor to this?
I think they have like a silver and a red. I don't know all the colors, but Alfred, if you were here, I would give you a sip of my white energy.
I'd love your white energy. Pause.
But
oh, it's great to see Glenn. Oh my goodness, this is the greatest thing ever. I swear, I was very happy to see. I swear to God, I thought that said that you were going to be out until.
I know, me too. But like, don't rely on me. You guys know I drink before I start this podcast, so it all relies on you, Alfred. Alfred said he was drinking some wine, so you're just dealing with two drunks, Glenn. I'm sorry.
Oh, good.
That's what happens when I drink white wine. My mind goes, and I may have had a scoop or two of ice cream tonight.
Oh,
wow.
Lemon cake.
Happy to have you, Glenn.
It's good to see you guys. And that was the thing. I was like, you know what? I'm fading. I'm tired, but I get to hang out with my friends.
Absolutely.
And we just go and start without you.
We just ditched you. Like, last one's rotten egg.
Well, I'm sitting there and I'm like, oh, I'll load up some samples. I'll kind of get ready. We're going to have like a fun time tonight. You know, it's going to be festive. It's going to be good.
I'm so sorry. I'm elated to see you here, but you came in at the right time because we were just kind of wrapping up our opinions about Bray. So, you could take the floor.
No, it's exciting, but then again, I think that great babyface promo tonight. It had a real charm to it. I think that the crowd obviously was very won over. There were a lot of different ways they could swerve it, and I thought maybe he would put over all the people that were there and that helped him, but then talk about the people that weren't there, maybe get like evil with it at the end. Like that's where I thought it was going. But to have it did
get evil at the end. I personally
but
felt
with him,
like
though,
his demons are still haunting him. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like there's something still haunting him. That's what I got out of that, which I enjoyed.
Me too. It's a simpler story to tell, and it's something that you could do week after week. It's something a lot of people are fantasy booking. You saw some Easter eggs tonight as to who could be involved, and I like that it seems that they're going to maybe roll it out one at a time, and him dealing with his past is something that could easily build to maybe, the Fiend versus Bray Wyatt, or at least that's what I believe.
But what did you think of the demon at the end?
Didn't sound as good as that.
It just seems like a bit of an obvious way to go with that,
Yeah. Glenn comes in and the production values just skyrocket immediately.
Yeah.
No, I thought it was good, but what I'm saying is I thought we were going to see just Bray like staring into the camera at the end and like drop the sincerity and get like dark. I don't know, and this is kind of let me put Bray over for a second. Firefly Funhouse had so many great characters. I don't know that I'm feeling the new Black Phone Mask character. I don't know that in my mind that stacks up with the Fiend, Huskus, Mercy Buzzard, Abby the Witch. Like, I don't know that I'm digging this mask compared to the other faces of Bray we've seen thus far.
But this is a different one. This is a different Bray. I hope. I don't know. I personally took his entrance at Extreme Rules as a symbolism to that in the past, and now we're gonna move on to something else. I don't know. Bray Wyatt could do no wrong in my eyes right now. So
I see it both ways. I see it as Bray Wyatt, the person saying, "This is my past. It's time to move on." But he will revel in what you are is the phrase that they've been using, and that's what's going to be the opposition. That's going to be the devil on his shoulder. Is the person saying, "No, come on, be like the old Bray Wyatt." So there's a lot to do with that, and I like it as long as they keep it simple. Because this Wyatt 6 idea of a stable of them walking around together, we have enough stables. We saw Bray Wyatt crash and burn when he added one person to his act. Don't add 5 more. So this idea that this is going to be something he's fighting like a comic book series, which is kind of fits the Marvel arc of what a Rob Fee would do. I am excited for that potential.
Could you imagine? And I was just thinking, could you imagine if Joe Gacy had come out there tonight?
Oh, it would have popped me. I'll tell you that.
But for the wrong reasons. Like if Joe Gacy would have come out and then literally like lit like a dumpster of trash on fire, that would have been like the most epic, terrible ending.
Joe Gacy and the Dyad versus the Wyatt family at Survivor Series.
No.
And I'm reading these clickbait articles of who's going to be in the Wyatt and they're so stupid. Do not click any article that talks about the new Wyatt family, the Wyndham 6.
Do click on the latest pro wrestling bit about me talking about how stupid that would be. Pro wrestling bits on YouTube. Click on that. But yeah, Glenn's right.
Yeah, I mean, it's the
did
most. Did
I already watch that one? I think I did.
I believe you did. I think you said that your dog could take on Daikiri, which I would love to see Roman take on Daikiri. I got Roman.
Oh yeah, Roman will mess that dog up big time.
Issa missed it the other night when Alfred had the genius idea, and I think this you should somehow will this into existence with the series for Apollo being the Black Fiend in the Firefly Trap House.
Yes.
Yo, let's go. I'm here for that.
They got to do it. That'll win them the Tuesday Night Wars if they have the Firefly Trap House.
I mean, that is like some golden era TNA Impact level.
Yeah.
Character
Monty
work.
Brown.
It'll be good.
They got to do it, man.
Yes. I'm surprised no one else came up. Firefly Trap House is good. That
absolutely. That's ours.
Yeah.
Alfred and his genius mind.
Someone needs to put out. Maybe you're the one to do it. Maybe somebody needs to put out like a concept hip hop album called the Firefly Trap House. Firefly Trap House.
Only if you produce it. If you produce it with that switchboard.
Yeah, we can get some samples in there. It'd be good.
Yeah, we'll get some Issa samples in there.
Yeah.
We're all flying over to Glenn's to make this album. I'm not gonna participate. I'm just coming just to sit there.
Let's do it.
So we can get some sick studio shots of the three of us making the album. It's gonna be great.
We're gonna go have a whole song called Butch.
Butch.
No, but what I'm saying is I love the promo, but I'm just not feeling the new. Was it Captain Howdy? What's the name?
Howdy.
Oh, come on. Captain Howdy's a legend.
Well, not from The Exorcist, no, but it's like that. The name's like that. Something Howdy.
I know. Uncle Howdy.
Yeah, I'm not feeling the new Uncle Howdy. It's too Black Phone, which is a solid movie. But it's just
it's a great movie.
Yeah. I just don't like
I don't think it's corny is what I like about it. Like, it may not be my favorite mask, but I don't have really a criticism about it. My fear would be if it sucked. If it was like I just feel like it's another version of The Fiend. Maybe not as good, but The Fiend mask when I first saw it was badass. And I thought this was kind of badass. I just didn't think it was corny, which I think is very important. Yeah, but I think
this mask is just like an alter ego thing. I don't see him wrestling with this match or cutting his promos. Like, I feel like this mask represents something different. With The Fiend was like a whole alter ego that he was gonna wrestle with. It feels like this is different, and we can get more into it when we get to the main event. But like, I don't know. We don't know anything. They haven't really given us much here of what they're going to be doing.
Mm-hmm. I love it. It just tells you they're pacing it right.
Yes.
Yeah, but it's exciting. I mean, look, tonight. This is what everyone tuned in for tonight. It wasn't LA Knight that had everybody turning on. Was it? Okay, those cheers, that was some piped in noise.
Yeah, they were. I mean,
like, I heard that noise. I was in the kitchen and I heard that noise because I got the speakers in the kitchen now. And I was like, oh man, I was wrong. LA Knight's over. People know. And then I go look at the TV and it's like stone-faced, confused crowd. They were more maximum male models.
How heartbroken were we when the crowd did not chant "Legado"? Yo,
yeah,
how did they not? Yo, that broke my heart. Broke my heart.
But this is a part of the problem, though. This is one of the things with wrestling. You can have a time where a rising tide lifts all ships. You can also have a time where something is so over that everything else is like, we're just waiting for the headliner, man. And I think that was one of those tonight. It was very tough.
What it was NXT's audience, especially the live audience, is very specific. It's a very small group of people who follow the product, and they were out in New Orleans, and the main roster crowds don't follow NXT the way that a lot of other people do. The audiences are a fraction of what SmackDown does, so I'm at least willing to guess that 3/4 of that crowd were not familiar with Legado yet, not familiar with that chant, but as it gets along, I'm sure people are going to learn to do the chant.
Yeah. So what else is going on?
Well, let's talk a little news. Some backstage news about Cody Rhodes' recovery. That God, Cody Rhodes, is close to a return. Maybe as soon as day one, maybe as soon as Royal Rumble, but it looks like they're targeting January for Cody Rhodes to return to WWE and possibly take that belt off of your boy, Issa.
Everything was going well to the last second there? Like, what? I'm not surprised. Cody, I mean, he wrestled in that injured, so of course he's ahead of recovery. There's nothing Cody Rhodes can do. I'm convinced he's Illuminati or sold his soul to the devil or something.
Yeah, that's how he's able to talk with Martin Luther King and Malcolm X in their fight to solve racism.
He already solved it.
Shout out to Cody Rhodes, though. Cody Rhodes follows me on Twitter and is a fan of Pro Wrestling Bits on YouTube. We chat about it, and Be like Cody Rhodes. Pro Wrestling Bits on YouTube. Subscribe. Glenn, are you excited to see Cody Rhodes come back?
Yeah, I think we got like a taste of what his WWE run is going to be like this time, and it's one of the biggest
but that's
stars
when
they got.
Vince was his boss. Now
That's
Triple
true.
H is gonna be his boss, and he destroyed that throne. And I don't know if Triple H is like me, but I don't forget.
And that is another interesting layer to this. There is rising suspicion and a little bit of panic, I will say, in the Cody Rhodes verse of people potentially thinking that Triple H may not be as high on Cody Rhodes as Vince McMahon was. And
No, you think that Triple H is building all these stars now because he wants to change WWE? No, he's just building main eventers. When Cody comes back, he'll be like, "Nobody, get to the back of the line. Look at all the people that I got over before you." And then Cody is just gonna be right back to, I don't know, maybe chasing for the 24/7 title or something like that.
Yeah, jobbing to LA Knight.
I do not think that is the case. I do not think that Cody has anything to worry about. Yes, it will be more competitive in a different environment when he gets back, but I still do think that where Triple H and Vince McMahon shared the same mind, and where I think Triple H is an extension of Vince McMahon, is killing AEW. Not necessarily killing them, but beating them in these long-term wars. I think it now matters more to Triple H than it did to Vince, because let's face it, AEW kind of put Triple H on his ass before this whole unprecedented Vince McMahon stuff happened. And I think one of Triple H's key priorities is to really hurt AEW. I think that's why there's all this tampering and calling on AEW talent, which has done its job and creating unrest in the locker room. And one of the things in terms of beating AEW and gaining more momentum was taking a free agent from AEW, and Cody Rhodes is essentially patient zero. And we're going to make him the most over guy. We're going to push him to the moon. We're going to have him beat Roman Reigns. And other AEW potential free agents, which 2024 is coming up, are going to be like, maybe I should go to that company while there's still room in the main event.
I mean, Tony Khan, if you think about it, I think Triple H was more his inspiration than Vince McMahon was in the early days of AEW, and probably still. You know, I mean, it'd be good to see these guys get into it.
I have
no comment. Anytime I hear beat Roman Reigns, I'm done.
Anytime, Issa?
Yes.
I mean, there's more than one ways to beat Roman Reigns. I'm just, I'm talking about pinfall or submission.
Butch.
You know? I don't know why you guys laughing.
So what else is going on?
You guys think they're gonna bury Cody Rhodes? Is that what you guys think? You think they're burying?
No. I was just being a smart ass. That's what I do.
Tuesday is going to be crazy. I'm glad I don't have to cover it.
I can't wait. Issa, we'll get through it, but I think it's going to be a fun night. Everybody, please join us on Tuesday for the post-mortem of the Tuesday Night War. It's going to be a fun night.
I might be drunk.
Deal. It looks like Naomi is speaking with WWE on speaking terms, not necessarily anything signed as of this writing. A lot of things being kept under wraps, but at the very least, it looks like Naomi and WWE are on speaking terms, but still radio silence really from the side of Sasha Banks and Naomi. Now there's even question of whether or not they're going to come back, but who knows? What do you expect? Do you expect to see Sasha Banks and or Naomi by WrestleMania, Issa?
I mean, I hope so. Right now, when I see what Sasha's doing, it looks like she's living her best life. So I just want Sasha to do whatever makes her happy, whether it is coming back, whether it is continuing to do what it is that she does. It's positive to hear that they're on speaking terms. It seems like Triple H has done a good job at amending certain relationships. So I said this before, it feels like anything is possible in WWE right now. So nothing will surprise me.
I mean, it's one of the cards Triple H has left to play that will get a huge reaction. I mean, if you were to rank, and if we only didn't have to cover 3 hours of wrestling tonight, because we could rank what would be the biggest cards left that Triple H has to play, I would actually say, and this isn't just me continuing to put him over, but I would say Sasha Naomi. I would say bringing Enzo back. There's maybe like 5 talents that would get like a Bray Wyatt level reaction. Just, like this thing, like LA Knight, the people aren't clamoring for that. If he brings back, Danny Kane, people aren't going to be like, oh my God, my prayers have been answered. But Sasha and Naomi are probably number one, or probably the top 2.
Yeah, I would agree, especially in-house. And another wild card you could say that he would have up his sleeve is a big AEW free agent, because I do not believe that they will all stay in AEW. I don't think WWE is going to get a lot of them. Maybe they'll only land one, but between whether it's Kenny Omega, MJF, Wardlow, the Young Bucks, all these contracts coming up in 2024, I do believe WWE will get at least one of them.
And by the way,
so I think that's a card that they're going to play.
Do you think Andrade going back to WWE is a big needle mover?
It'll get a big pop the first night. I don't know about long term.
It'll get the internet wrestling community talking, but that's not Andrade.
It's a small bubble.
Yeah, he didn't have a great run in WWE.
Fans who think that like he's just been gone this whole time, and if he comes back, it's like, oh, Andrade's back, and it's nothing past that.
Braun Strowman was one of the biggest stars in WWE, which again, it's crazy that they cut him. When you look at the WrestleMania moments that he had, the push that he had, I mean, yeah, I think
the titles with Child is such a huge moment. Everybody's still talking about it.
I was in the building. They lost their minds for that.
Me too. Oh no, I wasn't in the building for that one.
No, I think you were in New Orleans.
No, I didn't do that one.
Oh, okay.
You know, Alfred, they say if you remember being in New Orleans, you weren't really in New Orleans.
That's a good point. I was working, but that's a great point.
Yeah. No, but I think if you've watched WWE in the last 5 years, you know who Braun Strowman is. I cannot say the same from Andrade. And that's not Andrade's fault. That's WWE's fault, because they didn't know what to do with him.
Nobody knows what to do with him, apparently.
Okay, so Martin Arango, 499, Code Orange, the group who made the Fiend theme song, tweeted, "Die for me, brother." That's maybe his new theme song. I have to say, I'm not saying the quality of that song. I do not think that song worked well as an entrance song.
Really, we were raving about it. I actually happen to like it.
I mean, it's so different though. It's so like sort of, I don't know. Like, remember those bands that came out in the wake of Creed, like in the early 2000s?
Yeah, that's what I was saying, like Linkin Park, and I think it had a kind of a Slipknot vibe to it.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Yeah,
it just didn't sound high energy enough.
I think you just gotta get used to it.
It did not embody the spirit of white energy, like the Salimo white energy drink by Amazon. Amazon is making generic, Salimo is Amazon's house brand. They're making generic energy drinks now. Like a buck a can. Order my case of white energy.
Different type of white energy for those songs.
Yes. Michael Sachs Jr. Here with Bischoff says AEW and WWE make trades. I would love if AEW and WWE made trades. Holy
if the wrestling business wasn't such a carny, politically driven business that was monopolized for so many years, that's absolutely what should happen. They're like soccer teams or like football teams or whatnot, where there's talent that if they don't want to be there, they'll either force their way out or go to the other company. Why not have a bridge to trade them, if nothing else, for better talent relations, so that they don't have to pull all these stunts to get out of their contract, so that you could just send them somewhere else for whether it's I don't know if they do draft picks or it's just that I wouldn't trust these carnies with trades, because you don't know who's going to honor their contracts. But wrestling doesn't need trades.
It'll be great.
What else is going
on? AEW Dynamite, 983,000, down a little bit, down 5% in total viewership. 417,000 and 18:49, that's down 3%. And I don't know, I think they're going to do lower for their Tuesday Night War number, because not only are they going against NXT, it's opening night in the NBA, go Bucks, LCS playoffs kick off. So there's going to be some challenges competitively for both shows this coming Tuesday night.
This is funny. William Brewer saying that I just like to nitpicky bitch about nothing. Let me tell you, I find joy and delight in the smallest things in life. Last night, I put on the movie Bubble Boy, and I was like, this is terrible, but I'm finding things to enjoy. But Jake Gyllenhaal chose to do this movie. He was already kind of a known quantity, and he said, I want to do Bubble Boy with Vern Troyer. Like, I find joy in everything. I'm just saying that it was a good song. It's just, it's like I don't want to listen to like Ben Folds 5 doing a wrestling entrance theme. It just doesn't quite work, Like, I just want. Now you tell me Drowning Pool's Bodies. You give me something with like aggression, with energy, or just a little more arena. I'm just saying it's not even the song. It was just maybe the production. It sounded like a demo. I don't know.
Wow.
But again, I want to love everything.
I did like it. I think it made him look like a star.
Like Deadpool Party, the trailer for the new House Party reboot produced by LeBron James. I watched that. I was like, this is different, but you know, I'm going to give it a chance. It's charming me. I saw a shot of Kid and Play in the trailer. That made me happy. Maybe Full Force will be in it.
They put Jack Harlow in that one too?
Who else was in that? Oh, I can't remember. But look good. And I understand some people like the song, and I don't have an issue if you like the song. That's okay.
You don't have to explain yourself.
Listen, a man punched himself in the face for 900,000 viewers.
And he bled. The things we do for love. Our final story is Zelina Vega's love, Aleister Black, Malachi Black. Probably wants to be known as Aleister Black these days. As you've heard, there's been some drama regarding his release, his contract. It did come out, according to the Wrestling Observer newsletter, that Malachi Black was being considered to join the Wyatt 6 stable or whatever they're doing with this group of Wyatt characters. Malachi Black, Aleister Black was being considered. Nobody really knows what's going on with his contract, including Malachi Black, who's contradicting Tony Khan and vice versa. So I guess we're just going to have to wait and see. But do you think Malachi would enhance this stable, Issa?
No. No, I mean, I can see, because they're both dark characters. Ooh, it's almost like putting people of the same race together. You know what I mean? Like
Exactly.
I don't know. I can't picture it. He was just the leader of a stable, so to go from that to like backup singer, it just seems like a downgrade for him, I guess. I don't know.
At least they would all be in the same stable together in a faction, as opposed to AEW that has like 8 different dark factions working independently of each other. You know,
they all need a merger. These guys, and this is hilarious. Passionate man.
But it's true though. It's like Bobby Brown said about reuniting with New Edition. It's like Bobby said, I can sell out arenas on my own. Why do I want to do this and have to split the money 6 ways?
Yeah.
You know?
Well, maybe Malachi doesn't want to split it 6 ways. Now he just wants to split it 2 ways. Or 3 ways, because we got the Judgment Day. What is pro wrestling's obsession with this occult? It's not the 90s. This is not the Crow. Nev Campbell isn't working for WWE. Why are we doing all these dark gimmicks? Let's get some more hip hop in WWE. It worked for Daddy Ass.
And they're not dark though. Like they're dark. They say foreboding promos. Like there's nothing particularly. I mean, it's like the shit with the Viking Raiders tonight. It's like, oh, we'll talk about Valhalla. It's like somebody went to Wikipedia. It's like somebody watched like I remember on ABC Saturday Morning they used to have like a little 30-second thing where it's like, we're going to teach you about Norse mythology. It was like somebody watched that and was like, okay, they're into Valhalla and they raid. Okay, right up. That's my promo. Like, here we go.
For entertainment purposes only, for strictly entertainment purposes, given all these occult stables we had, I would take 2 QAnon stables over any of the 7 occult stables that we already have. Just 2 stables of, QAnon believers. They would be heel, obviously, but that would be more interesting to me than all of these gothic stables that all these middle-aged men are booking.
And I want deep research. Do you think IRS really knew much about tax law? Like if you've got a gimmick, and that's why Drew Gulak is one of the best, because I believed that he could like fuck it up with Microsoft Office. You know, I would call Drew Gulak to help me like figure out how to do some crazy macro scripting in Excel. I believe he knows what he's talking about.
He pulls it off. I'm a Mac guy, but he pulls it off.
You can do Microsoft Office on the Mac, Alfred.
I actually do. Yeah, you're right.
Why do I know this? Sorry, it's been a long day. I've been up since 7 a.m. What else? And I did my taxes today. So
good job.
Oh, wow. Almost the beginning. It's not even the end of the year. That is your news, ladies and gentlemen.
Karrion Kross was hit by a car and Drew Gulak Drew McIntyre. They should switch gimmicks. Could you imagine if they switch gimmicks for a week?
Drew Gulak is too busy training Logan Paul here in Puerto Rico. Fun fact.
And no, I'm not ahead on my taxes. I was on extension for my taxes from last year.
Oh,
you can go on extension till October. Anyhow, yes, I missed this opening, actually. How was this?
I loved it. I loved it. It was chaotic. It was like a car accident. It wasn't necessarily explained because Drew McIntyre came from the back and he basically murdered Karrion Kross. I think I at minimum attempted manslaughter charges had to be filed there. Drew McIntyre in his little dad jeans and the wife beater. He's very angry. The hair was dry. I appreciated this opening. I thought it was chaotic. And what's his name? Karrion Kross looked actually dead.
What's his name?
Yeah. Yeah, I thought it was good.
That's how he's doing back in WWE. He's gonna remember his name.
One of the directives of the show was going to promote that Tuesday night NXT show, which, you know, it's going to have main roster stars on it. There were several mentions of it tonight. And right out the gate, opening it up, it's the NXT parking lot angle that we get. So they were immediately on the directive to promote NXT. And I thought they did this well. I thought this is good. And they're really, really doubling down on Karrion Kross. So hopefully he's able to really get over through this feud.
Yeah. Well, I turned it on in time for the New Day making their way to the ring with Sammy and Solo. Sammy got a call from Roman who wanted to talk to Jay, and then Roman was joking with Sammy and Jay was left out of it. God, I love this storyline. If I could marry a storyline in professional wrestling, this would be the one. So what did you think of this match, Issa? Sami Zayn versus Kofi Kingston.
I thought it was a fun match. I need justice for Jey Uso. Now I feel like he's being left on his own. I feel like he's been bullied by his own bloodline. He was the original bloodline member before Sammy Solo or Jimmy. There was Jay, and I don't think he's been treated fairly at this point.
Yeah, that's the looming problem, I think, that this angle might have. This is perfect and it continues to be good, and Sammy is great, but Sammy was most lovable and most over as the odd man out, as the guy who everybody could kind of live through, because that honorary Uso thing, anybody would be an honorary Uso, because most people aren't members of the Anoa'i family. So people were able to live vicariously through Sammy, but if he joins them and then now we're going to isolate Jay, naturally he's going to be like a heel. He's not going to be as lovable. And I don't think the character is going to work as well as just this lovable character, which I think is the direction they need to be taking.
Well, but Jay really dislikes Sammy, though. I think Sammy did try and win him over.
No, he doesn't. Jay just has a funny way of showing his appreciation. That's how I am. That's how I show my love to people. I ignore them. I don't text back. I ghost. I don't respond to anything. I don't talk to them for 2-3 weeks at a time. That's how I show people that I care about them.
That does kind of line up with our friendship, now that I think about it.
Oh. Well, means I care, Glenn.
She's not quick to respond. Like, I'll just be like, oh, I'm going to send her this funny thing, like this Menudo thing or this other thing. And then it's just like my message left unread for hours. And then I get maybe a laughing, crying emoji or just a heart back.
She texted you today like, great 4th of July meme.
Exposed. I'm just saying, maybe Jey Uso is just not the lovey-dovey kind, and that's okay. That doesn't mean he's not part of the bloodline. I did think that tonight kind of did more favors for Jay. Like you kind of felt a little bit sympathetic towards him tonight.
You can't help but feel sympathetic for anybody who's the outside looking in. That was Sammy for so long. Now it's Jay. And even though Sammy's over and all that, people are just naturally going to feel bad for Jay if he keeps getting ganged up on. He's going to seem like the babyface.
Now, it's a character. Solo never looks happy.
He shouldn't.
Yeah, I know.
He's got a great mean face.
He does, but it makes me think he doesn't like Sammy sometimes. But
no, that's what I think makes it good, because he doesn't like anybody, but Sammy seems to be the solo whisperer, because like he listens to Sammy and he owes Sammy after he saved his life. So you're right. He does show angry all the time, but he kind of begrudgingly accepts Sami Zayn because he feels he owes a debt of gratitude to him.
Yeah. Well, Sammy won this match, and this was fun. Rey Mysterio,
and Jay helped.
Yeah.
Jay was reason.
And he didn't even thank him later. It's all BS, man. Maybe if he's like me, he'll thank him like 3 weeks from now. He'll be like, "Hey, remember that match 3 weeks ago against Kofi? Thanks for the help."
So Sammy won. We saw Rey Mysterio backstage trying to quit to Triple H.
Oh my God.
You didn't like this? I liked where this eventually went. I liked what they're doing with this.
Why would I like this? If this was my family, my mom would have beat my ass a long time ago. Why is he so afraid to beat up his own kid? That's not even his kid.
That's a good point.
And Triple H wasn't like, well, if we calculate the amount of time you were out with injury, you actually can't quit the company for another 8 months.
That's hilarious. That's probably what he told him in the bag. He's like, we're going to freeze your contract. Oh my God. I hope that it comes out that we see that footage. Like, that's how they are able to hold on to him.
And Ray was really just trying to get released because he wanted to go to AEW. Like, I want him backstage calling Tony Khan, and he's like, nah, he didn't fall for it. It didn't work.
That is great.
Yeah. But then we had Roxanne Perez backstage talking to Shotzi, Raquel Rodriguez, setting up a 6-woman match with Damage Control. Then Braun Strowman had a handicap match against James Maverick and Brian Thomas, of course, getting an easy win, interrupted by Omos with MVP.
Oof. First of all, can somebody tell me the thinking of Roxanne here? Because it's like, oh, I gotta find somebody to find Cora. Let me find her friend. How is that smart? It's not smart. It was a silly decision on her end. And then she's telling Bayley, oh, you're not losing streak. Okay, well, Bayley's standing right next to two people who are holding titles that Raquel just lost to them. So none of this made any sense to me, but whatever. Let's move on to the match that nobody except for the Prince of Saudi Arabia wants to see. Like, who wants to see Omos and Braun Strowman? Nobody.
Yeah, and in terms of the Roxanne Perez angle, I was surprised they took Raquel Rodriguez because she's like up and coming in WWE. But if we're loading up this Tuesday show, I would rather have seen Bayley be the person that she chooses. And what I would like to see is Triple H walk out just like he did with Ray and take Roxanne Perez into his office. She comes out like, okay, after further consideration, Bayley, you're going to draw a little bit many more viewers, so we're going to take you.
I just don't understand when you're having Tuesday Night Wars and you have Ronda Rousey in your freaking brand. Why not pay her a couple of extra bucks and have her show up on Tuesday? The baddest, the champ. That's who you have. You want this girl beat up for real? I'm telling you, this girl, she don't know what she's doing. She's never been on a fight. Guarantee you, she ever gets on a fight, she don't even take off her earrings. I'm telling you right now, that's the vibes that I get from her.
It should be Bayley. Bayley hasn't been back to NXT since her return.
Yeah, that'd be great to see Bayley back there.
Yeah, I agree. I'd love to see Bayley back in NXT. What about LA Knight versus Mansoor?
Yeah.
I'm telling you, like, don't watch this segment. Listen to this segment of LA Knight's entrance and then watch LA Knight's entrance with the sound off. And it is like two different realities.
Yeah,
I'm happy to see LA Knight back. I love hearing his NXT theme song too. I pop for that. Maybe it's because we watch every Tuesday, but I thought it was fun. The match was fun, and then he cut a promo. I wrote it down in my calendar. He said mark the day, so I marked the day just in case. You never know.
October 14th, 2022. The thing about this is that, like, he wasn't getting much of a reaction, and then he cuts this promo, and it's immediately a heel promo. He's just like, "You bunch of incels, how do you like me?" And they're just, the fans didn't really react. They're just like, "Hey, that's not nice." Like, they didn't boo him. He didn't get heat. It was just like, "Hey, man, we're just kind of sitting here. Why you get mad at us?" So, like, he's back to doing The Rock, Stone Cold, turn up to 1,000. I don't know if this is going to get over in this era. I like the guy. The guy's very talented. He's, I think, a very good worker. But this character that he does, we'll see. I just don't think it's going to really get over with this crowd.
Those crickets
we'll see.
Were the audience's reaction that night tonight.
Yeah.
But he beat Mansoor. See, I think Maximum Male Models was actually on the precipice of becoming one of the biggest things in pro wrestling.
I think they had a good debut, but after that, they kind of fumbled the bag.
The water commercial was great. No, and I think they fumbled the bag because LA Knight didn't like the character and didn't want to push it. In a way, he kneecapped them.
Yeah, I could see that.
They should have been debuted with somebody else.
Yes. And
the gimmick had potential.
Yeah, Maxine's great. So what about Damage Control versus Roxanne Perez, Raquel Rodriguez, and Shotzi? And Damage Control getting the win.
Bayley getting the win.
Yes.
Just making sure because she was on a losing streak. That's right. I told you she's never been on a real fight. No, this match was a lot of fun. Like, I actually really enjoyed this match. I thought all 6 of them looked great. I mean, Roxanne, first time on the main roster, probably, not what you were expecting her to do, but overall, I liked it. I thought it was fun.
Yeah, I thought this was a good match. I very much enjoyed it, especially the stuff they did on the outside with Io jumping on the Raquel and Dakota. It's the weirdest thing because they talk about everybody's history in NXT. They talk about Raquel Rodriguez and Cora Jade and their history. They continue to refuse to acknowledge that Dakota Kai and Raquel Rodriguez had this whole 1 year storyline in NXT and have all this. They refuse to acknowledge that. I don't know if they're saving it for a future storyline. I don't know if there's an edict, but that is really the only thing they don't acknowledge when it comes to their pasts in NXT.
Good point.
Very strange. Very strange. Well, they did acknowledge, and it's funny that they followed this up with Legado del Fantasma versus Hit Row, acknowledging their history in NXT. And Legado getting that win, which is worrying me. This Hit Row return is not going as dominantly as I want it to.
I'll tell you what's worrying me. Okay, on tonight's show and this week on WWE TV, I'm just pointing out what I've noticed. Kofi Kingston lost, Bobby Lashley lost. He dropped that U.S. title. He's going to lose to Brock Lesnar. They're going to extinguish Omos by having Braun Strowman beat him. Hit Row lost. The Brothers is struggling in the Triple H era. I've just noticed. I'm just saying what I'm noticing. I just don't think that I haven't noticed.
I see what you're saying there, but it's Hispanic Heritage Month, so Legado.
Happy October, everybody.
We get a month too, damn it.
I mean, I didn't see all the Jewish wrestlers winning on Rosh Hashanah a couple weeks ago.
They didn't book over for that show?
Yeah, I mean, if we're going to pander, let's do it right.
I think Legado del Fantasma, I want them to get over enough to where people sing along with their theme song.
Well, they have to win.
Yeah, they have to keep winning and they have to keep cutting promos because I do think Zelina Vega is an upgrade. As much as I liked Elektra Lopez, Zelina Vega as a talker is an upgrade because she's one of the best talkers in the company.
Damn.
Absolutely.
He's not wrong.
I probably couldn't name 5 better talkers in WWE than Zelina Vega.
Okay. I hope Elektra goes to the D'Angelo family.
Yeah. I'd love to see it. She should. She was
That's where she belongs.
Good part.
That's where she belongs.
Okay. Well, Sonya Deville was backstage with Kayla Braxton, and then Liv Morgan getting into it with Sonya.
Yes. Did you guys notice the Easter egg?
Yes, the Bray logo. It was also in the Triple H and Rey Mysterio segment.
Yes.
But so there was a really cool table spot. But before that, Liv says, "Oh, you wanna talk about me?" And then she just gently throws Sonya over the metal thing, and I'm like, that's not extreme. So I'm glad they kind of made up for that in the table spot. I guess Liv is going through something, huh?
Maybe she could be part of the Wyatt Six.
That's almost definitely what is going to happen. She'll be number 3.
She'll be Sister Abigail. My Lord.
Abby the Witch.
Abby the Witch?
I do think it could be Alexa after the Easter egg. But that makes sense. That doesn't need to be a Wyatt Six thing. They just need to put Alexa back with Bray.
Does the IRS join the Wyatt Six in some capacity?
Why not?
I would like that because the Firefly Funhouse was foreclosed on because it was Webb's. He has to go get it back.
And then they have to have a dance off to save the house against the bank. It'll be like Breaking 2 Electric Boogaloo,
That's where Apollo Crews could come in as a Black Fiend.
Oh man. We had too much fun Tuesday, Issa, without you. You weren't here to keep us in line.
Yeah. We got off the rails a little bit.
If you count on me to keep you guys in line.
But there is no line on this podcast.
No.
Dylan Matthews, thank you for the super chat. Without text, I'll look out for your next chat. To read 4-way for the Intercontinental Championship, Solo Sikoa versus Rey Mysterio versus Sheamus versus Ricochet. Number one contender for the IC title, gonna take on Gunther. And even with the Bloodline's help.
What makes you think that now everybody's gonna like try to quit to Triple H so they get a shot at being number one contender?
Oh yeah, there you go. Well, Solo didn't win, but we're gonna get Rey versus Gunther, which should be good.
And we found out that Rey Mysterio has been moved to SmackDown because he's scared. He's scared of Dominic Mysterio. Anyways, he's scared of Dominic Mysterio, and I just don't understand. Is there a trade? Who's going to be on Raw now? All the tweets from WWE just said that he has been that he's on SmackDown now, and now he's scared of Dominic, so he'd rather fight Gunther.
I think that yes, he has run from Dominic because he does not want to inflict harm on his child, and now he's on SmackDown. And I will say that I liked what they did.
He's not a child. He is 20-something years old.
Yes, I think he's acting his size rather than his age. But I think that, because Karrion Kross was attacked early in the show, and I was kind of thinking like, okay, is this how they're going to get out of it? Is he going to limp to the ring or whatnot? But they took Karrion Kross out of the match because he was hit with a car, and they put Rey Mysterio. What I liked about the storytelling, I like how they took these two storylines and they merged them together for this match. It's a lot of continuity in one show. That this guy was taken out in a car crash. He can't be in this match. But the guy that we would put in this match is a guy who just threatened to quit. So these storylines all connect to this. And I like that storytelling. It's very reminiscent of the Attitude Era. And I will say, I know it's kind of ridiculous that Ray's running from his son and whatnot. I do like the storytelling of this because it reminds me of Undertaker and Kane in 98, where Undertaker said, I will never touch my brother. I will never do anything. And he just got pushed to the brink to where he finally did. And I think that might come when Dominic costs Ray that IC title. Hopefully longer.
Dylan's pointing out there was a hooded figure next to the Bray logo.
Interesting.
Wonder if it's the same hooded figure from NXT that's been hanging out with Joe Gacy.
Do you guys believe that hooded figure was somebody from Bray Wyatt's past?
I would have to study the footage.
It's probably an extra. Forgot to move out of the way. Also, why didn't Drew McIntyre come out and beat Rey Mysterio's ass? Why did he take out Karrion Kross? I mean, I guess he has a thing after Karrion Kross, but at that point, if you're the one to take out Karrion Kross, it would only make sense that you get rewarded for those brave actions to open the show.
But Ray versus Gunther is going to be good.
Right. Oh, yeah, it's going to be great.
I think it's going to be excellent. Yeah, Gunther doesn't miss, and these two styles clashes is going to make from a great match. It's going to be a good David versus Goliath match.
Where Goliath wins.
Yeah, Goliath's going to win.
Okay.
He's gonna
I guess we'll see another murder next week on SmackDown.
I want to see Ray mid 619 and just Gunther slaps the shit out of him.
Oh, I'll pop for that so hard.
And then the main event. Is it a match? No, it's a promo.
Wait. Before you get to Bray, you forgot to mention the Brawling Brutes came out, and I think we're going to get some kind of version of the Brawling Brutes and the Bloodline, and I'm here for it. Take all of my money.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, I was just so excited to see Bray Wyatt after I've seen that recap of his return so many times this week.
Enough. The way they baited and switched at us on Monday. Because they said the return. They said the return of Bray Wyatt, and then they were like, we're going to recap the return of Bray Wyatt. It was such a bait and switch. It was worse than the Halloween Ends trailer.
Shout out to these, no spoilers. Shout out to these carnies for squeezing every drop out of this peach. They've been baiting and switching since September 23rd, where it was inferred that was the day he was going to show up. The most people watched the show since 2020, and they're like, psych, he's coming back at Extreme Rules. And so they've been really baiting and switching and waiting as long as they can. And they squeaked out some really good viewership out of it.
I know. They're dragging this out more than JFK Jr.'s return at this point. But he's back now, the man behind the mask. And we're going to maybe get some answers. So Bray Wyatt tonight, pure babyface promo. Looked like, fighting back the tears, sincerely thanking everyone.
Yeah, he was crying.
It's very good. I mean, and this was the idea that this was the first time we've ever seen Bray being
himself.
That's what I love about this.
Very effective.
This promo had me all in my feels. I love seeing Bray just being himself, and I know a lot of people are doing a watch along, and everybody in the chat is like, "Where is the swerve?" I kept thinking, "This is the swerve." When have we ever seen this version of Bray Wyatt? He's always so protected by a gimmick, by a character. We don't know who Bray is as a person. He's never been able to express any of these things on a promo or anything like that. I personally thought, after seeing the reaction at Extreme Rules, the way to start should be as a babyface. We'll see where we go from here, but the reactions that he's getting right now, you might as well capitalize on that. I really, really like this. It felt real, it felt genuine, and like I said earlier in the show, at the end, I personally felt like he's still being haunted by something dark, and we're still teasing that.
Yeah, it was an interesting swerve because he was being really sincere and really real, and then at the end, it just
went to creepy all of a sudden before we went off the air.
It was jarring. It was a jarring change of tone.
That was jarring. I could feel it. I just got triggered.
Say who killed the world in that voice, please.
See.
Who killed the world?
You did.
You did. Who broke my heart? You did. You did.
Revel in what you are. Say it.
Revel in what you are.
Can you read Kanye's anti-Semitic tweets in that voice?
Well, I shan't be doing that.
Who killed the world? I love this. I'm very excited for the prospects of this, as long as we're able to understand it. Coming out of this week 1 of Bray Wyatt, we could all, I think, articulate and understand what was going on. And as long as it stays that way, that's just what I'm worried about. It's funny because with Bray Wyatt, it's like fool me once, fool me twice. He's already fooled me twice, so shame on me. But we've reset the counter because we're under a new administration, and I really do think that's going to help this gimmick.
Yeah.
Agreed.
The crickets, the insects.
It's my cricket.
Yes. I know. It's just yeah, because it is. It's just like it's like I'm hanging out with my wife and I make a joke and then just that's the sound I hear after.
Do you think crickets realize their contribution to society, that it's like the universal sign for if somebody's not interested, and you think that's why that they make those noises, that they show up just to do that, or do you think they're actually communicating?
They're nature's trolls.
Yeah. They're the hecklers.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's it for tonight. Everybody have a great night.
all I was thinking during this is like, oh, I feel so bad for whoever has to open the pre-taped Rampage after this. Because how do you follow this? How?
Yeah, with the Butcher and the Blade.
And the bunny. Don't forget the bunny.
I mean, it was against Claudio and Moxley.
Which was good.
Yeah. Everybody go quiet and just let the cricket speak.
Like, okay, here's my thought. Claudio and Moxley are definitely stars, but you could kind of take a page from WWE's playbook and stop having Moxley wrestle on TV so much.
Every week.
He's always been a workhorse, though. That's just who he is.
I know, but it's not going to be special anymore.
Yeah, because there was one year in WWE where he wrestled more matches than anybody by a very wide margin.
Oh, he's
just always been that workhorse type guy.
He was doing 2-a-days for a while, where he would open one event and then like get flown to another market to be the main event in house shows, which is crazy. Sheet Black, $1.99. Come on, Glenn. JFK, wow.
Too soon, Glenn.
Sega Genesis. Wow. $20 super chat.
Oh, yeah.
Tony Storm became interim champion September 4th in the 6 Dynamites and 2 Live Rampage. That's going to be the name of my 2 Live Crew cover band. We're going to play metal versions of 2 Live Crew songs.
Here for it.
Yeah, 2 Live Rampage. In the 2 Live Rampages since then, she said 0 live mic time. Literally been half a dozen women who've had more live time mic in one night since All Out. It is kind of interesting. I mean, yeah.
She was just on AEW Dark, which I'm not one of these people who think that anybody on AEW Dark, like they have to book people on that show, and they really should work to have good matches. It wouldn't hurt to have a big star there, but it's very emblematic of how they've booked Toni Storm since she won the title in kind of a paper champion. So I agree with what Sega Genesis says.
I mean, they're booking her the same way they booked Thunder Rosa before her. There's nothing has changed here. Nothing has changed. Anybody. It's just interim, but they're booking her exactly what they did to Thunder Rosa.
Outside of Jade and Britt Baker, they've just really lost their way in booking women.
No, I agree. Speaking of Sega Genesis, new episode of Game Boys to Men came out this week on Jeff Gerstmann's Patreon feed, where we talk about our 1992 trip to CES in Chicago. And it was like a bad news bears and breaking training situation where we got a slightly older friend to come with us, get us a hotel, and buy us alcohol, and the shenanigans that ensued with two 16-year-olds on the town in Chicago playing video games in 1992.
I hope you didn't incriminate that poor guy. You guys didn't reveal his information, did you?
There were no last names used.
Okay, good.
Some other people we referred to by code names. We're somebody described this podcast that Jeff and I are doing as 2 parts video game coming of age tale, 1 part true crime story.
That's great.
It is something. Sheed Black, Buck 99. Issa is tickled. Is this Batman?
That a Riddler reference or?
Glenn, look at Dylan's chat that says.
Please.
Yeet my dog. Yeet.
There we go.
Yes.
Now is it yeet is it yeet comma my dog, or is it like yeet my dog, like you can yeet my dog?
Oh no.
That's how it was written and that's how it was read, is that somebody's eating a dog.
No. There has to be a comma.
Yeah, we're not trying to yeet Roman.
He won't let you. Try. I dare you.
He'll yeet me.
This tag match was good to open the show. Yeah, I just feel like, and where were the Acclaimed? The first time I feel like
they worked Dynamite. Yeah,
I know, but I feel like Acclaimed is on Rampage every week.
Yeah, but they've moved up in the world. They really are the hottest thing AEW has right now. Based on crowd reactions, especially this week, you can argue that the two tag teams are the hottest acts in AEW: FTR and the Acclaimed, and not in that order. But the Acclaimed and FTR are getting these superstar reactions, and I do think that you should establish to where the Acclaimed is only on Wednesdays, because the daddy ass thing and the scissor me is great and it's over, but it can burn out and it will eventually, like everything in wrestling, and you want to stretch that out.
Well, let's
Glenn,
yeah.
Please. Say scissor me daddy ass in the voice.
Yes.
Scissor me daddy ass.
The gift that keeps on giving. This was Deadpool party, Clinton 1992, up all night playing Bucky O'Hare and George Foreman's KO. George Foreman was at that CES. I believe I got his autograph. Wow. So we tell the story. This is the free clip that is on Jeff Gerstmann's Patreon, the link. So when I travel, I get like crazy energy sometimes, and I can't fall asleep. And we're up like really late, and Jeff's like, let's go to bed. You know, we got an early day tomorrow. And finally, when I shut up at 3 a.m., he's trying to go to sleep and he hears me muttering like under my breath. He's like, what the fuck are you doing? And I'm like, dude, I'm praying. And I can't, and he like was about to beat me up. And looking back, I can't remember if I was being serious or if I was trolling him, because if I was trolling him with that, I am much more hilarious than I give myself credit for. That was the trip when I learned that Jeff Gerstmann is a funny dude, but when Jeff Gerstmann is pissed off, he is absolutely hilarious. Same thing with my wife. Sometimes I do things that I know are going to irk her because it really makes me laugh. She's really on top of her game when she's a little angry at me.
That's how an episode of Snaps starts.
Snaps. Sega Genesis, wow, just throwing the money like we're in the club, making it rain, $20. Been so frustrated with how TK books a women's division that I've kept count. Toni Storm's had 3 pre-tapes since All Out, all shared with the partner or opponent. Approximately 50 seconds of just her talking combined. So my question is the AEW Women's Championship cursed?
I like that next gen stats. I like those next gen stats of my time. I was very near and dear to my heart. And I don't know if it's cursed. I just think it's abandoned. And I do think they're on their way to building it back up. And they're trademarking, I think it was all elite women. It's just kind of in the water that they're at least looking to do it. But you haven't seen it on TV. Jamie Hayter is coming up. I do think that, okay, so between Jamie Hayter winning the AEW women's title and finding the right person to beat Jade Cargill, you could build some momentum and make some new stars. Those should be two different people. I think Jamie Hayter winning the AEW Women's World title will make a star. And whoever beats Britt Baker, if they could find somebody who's ready, you could make a new star doing that. And you could build the division around 4 horsewomen type who can actually expand the division. But I just haven't seen that yet. And it just, looking at how they book these women, does not look like they care to do that.
Yeah, it's pretty nuts. Okay. We got to move on because I'm almost out of white energy. My white energy is fading.
Don't drink too much of that white energy.
Yeah, not too much white energy.
You'll be in Washington on January 6th. I'm just kidding.
You really taste the privilege. So and with an aftertaste of fragility.
Taste the privilege should be. Oh my God.
No, you must be stopped. You must be stopped.
Everybody trying to hold down my white energy. Oh, this is gonna get flagged for like all the wrong. Like, there's gonna be an AI bot that's just like, is Alex Jones on the podcast? What's going on here?
Wrestling Inc. has been deplatformed.
It's a drink, people. Jeff Bezos bringing this. They have other colors as well. Sheed Black, $9.99. Just get done drinking Don Julio and Ajo. And this podcast is over. I'll smoke a cigar, drink some bourbon, and listen to y'all state the news. Missed it earlier. Yeah. There you go. Go back to the beginning.
Listen to the news. Yeah.
Cheers.
Yes.
Cheers.
Cheers, Sheed.
Too much white energy, and Kanye will tweet it.
Yeah, you will. These white energy super chats are fire.
Sheet Black, $4.99. Alfred, it was a Riddler reference, but I'm a Batman fan, and the movie sucked. It was too long.
Oh, come on.
The truth, it was so
I agree
long.
It was too long, but I do think the first hour and a half of Batman was maybe some of the best hour and a half of Batman I've ever seen in terms of movies. But then it did go too long. I'll say that, but I didn't think it was a bad movie.
It went really long.
Yeah, it was very
long. Looking forward to Black Adam.
Yeah, I think it'll be good. It's gotten some good. It's like doing very well, especially considering how the box office has kind of died off. The Rock is doing like pre-pandemic numbers because he's The Rock, and I think it's going to be good.
Yeah, we'll see.
What do the reviews say? I didn't really see the reviews yet. I'm sure they're tearing it apart, but I think it'll be good.
Yeah, I've not read any reviews yet. Okay, so Renee, so great to see Renee.
That's
the best.
Interviewing Swerve in Our Glory backstage. Then we got the Dark Order. Now, is it going to be crazy if they're the last Dark faction standing? The first Dark faction, the last Dark faction, just the Dark Order.
They got a member back, no? One of them came back or something?
They treated it like, oh my God, Stu Grayson's back. It's like, what, did he ever leave? Who the hell's been like, where's Stu Grayson?
Did he get knocked out so that Hangman could be part of their trio or something?
That's right. They did do that. They took him out.
I'm so proud of me for remembering that.
I have not seen Halloween Ends yet, Deadpool Party. I did watch Clerks 3 last night, though. Like right when it dropped on Disney.
I watched Halloween Ends.
Yeah, I've got
you didn't
so
like
many.
You didn't like how it ended.
I'm not gonna give you any spoilers. I'm just gonna say what the trailer gave you is not what the movie's about. That's it.
Interesting.
It might work for you, it might not. It's a bait and switch.
Oh, interesting. So, okay, wait. Jericho Appreciation Society. And I was like, okay, Jericho, this is good. We've seen this before. He cuts these promos. Jericho's great, yada, yada, yada. But then Dalton Castle's music hit. I fucking love Dalton Castle. And I like seeing him get a mini push in AEW. You have no idea
So
who Dalton
excited
Castle
to
is?
see more belts on AEW.
Wait, you've never
More
seen
This is
Dalton
what we
Castle
needed to
before?
see.
Wait, you've never seen Dalton
Sure,
Castle
I've
before?
seen him. I don't remember him. I seen him once in a Ring of Honor pay-per-view.
How do you not remember Dalton Castle and the boys?
I will say, I saw Dalton Castle and the boys 5 years ago. I believe this was pre his back injury that really kind of took him out and made him a shell of himself. And I thought he was one of the biggest. This was a card with Cody and Kenny, and this was at the height of the Bullet Club when they were doing that big blow off. And I thought Dalton Castle showed very well and was every bit on their level as a star to that crowd. And since then, he's had some injuries and has completely not been as good. But tonight, I liked his promo and I liked his fire, and the Canadian crowd really took to him. So I think, at least for tonight, he came off as a star. But it's going to do nothing to move the needle on his end.
If
Of
AEW
course not, because all 300,000 people that are watching that might not be as familiar as you guys are have no clue who these people are, and they did no job at introducing them. But all of a sudden, we get new people showing up, and they have more belts. There was 22 belts total shown on AEW Dynamite. There's Sega. I'm keeping track too. 22 belts total shown,
which is crazy because there's like 25 people on the roster. You know.
No, there's 20. You have FTR. They're holding like 10 on their own. So
there are way too many belts in AEW. And I might have to do an updated belt video because the last time I did one a couple of months ago, it was like 16. And now we're at past 20.
They got so many belts. The belts are battling. You know?
They're literally belts at this point. They're just holding pants up.
With Dalton Castle, to your point, Alfred, if AEW had started 3 years earlier or Dalton Castle had started 3 years later, I think he would be Orange Cassidy level over, and one of the
definitely have a slot. If they would have gotten peak Dalton Castle, he would have been on the short list of people who being, because people forget, but he was a very big star at one point in terms of the indie scene, and this was back when it was smaller and AEW hadn't come along, but it was starting to kind of rise. And Dalton Castle, unfortunately, had injuries. And now, to Issa's point, I don't like that they brought – this is what they did, the whole Forbidden Door, and it led to them completely nosediving on television in terms of ratings. They did like 761,000 for one of those shows because AEW just kept rolling out all these people like, oh, my God, it's Steve Richardson. It's like, who the hell are these people? You didn't tell me who these people are. I don't care.
And why did Anna Jay introduce Daniel Garcia while he was just right next to her? She introduced him like somebody that was coming out. He was like right there. Okay.
I will say my favorite part of the segment was Daddy Magic going, do you want to know what makes Daddy Magic's nipple hard?
Don't get me started on that. Why does everybody call themselves daddy on AEW? What's the daddy issues? And also, for the record, 99% of this roster is not daddy material, so they need to cut it off. Everybody's daddy. Everybody.
Okay, we got Daddy Ass, Daddy Magic. Who else is Daddy?
Daddy
the MJF called himself daddy the other day,
he
and then
does.
everybody's calling themselves daddy. I don't understand what's going on.
Trick Daddy.
Yeah.
That's why Luther Campbell was smart to be Uncle
Rey
Luke.
Mysterio is out here scared of being a daddy, and you have all of these loose daddies all over AEW television.
The loose daddies. So that sounds like a swing and jazz ensemble.
You know, now that they fired Byron Saxon off of commentary, they should have him go to AEW. So there's another daddy. You know, daddy.
Herschel Walker and the Loose Daddies playing this weekend. Rashid Blackbuck 99. Everyone is tickled tonight.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't we be?
Yes. She'd also saying the only thing good about Batman was the car scene. Wow.
I disagree. I think it perfectly built to it. And I think that should have been the final scene. I think they could have split this into two movies. And if that was the final scene of the first part, I would have been like, let's go. I can't wait for the second half.
Wow. She's like saying about Castle with Fandango at first. Dalton Castle would have been.
They had a great promo back and forth, though. They really did.
It was good.
I literally, because that's what happened. He did break his back, and it took him years to rehab from. And he said, I literally broke my back for this company. It was a good promo. It's just that nobody thinks he's going to win, and he's not.
Yeah. It'll be a good match, though.
Yeah.
I heard his matches have been good as of late. I heard it
improved.
Yeah, he's got it back.
Seems like he's pretty much back now, which is good. It took a while.
Where is he wrestling now? Since Ring of Honor don't have a TV deal.
That's the thing. And where did they win? Did they win those titles on the pay-per-view? Because now I don't even remember.
Yeah, that Dishonor to Remember Jericho's of something. I don't know the name. You know what I'm talking about.
So, Mac Daddy also perhaps the best Sir Mix-a-Lot album. Alfred is frozen.
He's so happy.
I know. He just looks so good to be happy to be here. Nice. So much positivity and sunshine. That's what they call him. Mr. Sunshine.
Yeah. I mean, he gets it from his daddy, Byron Saxton.
I've watched that clip so many times. I showed it to my wife. I think my wife thinks that's the funniest thing I've done, perhaps, this decade.
Oh my God. It was the best thing ever.
That was pretty good. Alfred's smiling because he's gone. He's gone. Because we're about to talk about Anna JAS with Matt Menard and Angelo Parker versus Nyla Rose with Marina Shafir and Vicky Guerrero. Nyla still has that TBS championship. Won this match after Jade Cargill and the Baddies went to the ring to attack her. Security guards stopped them while they snuck away. Are you riveted in this drama of the stolen belt?
No. Yes. Maybe. I love Vicky's sign.
No, maybe.
I love Vicky's sign 1-0 for Nyla. I kind of fought for that, not gonna lie. But I feel like I don't understand how you can make someone look so badass and so dumb in the same segment. And they did that for Jade tonight. She comes out, she starts beating security, she looks so badass, and then they just run right around her and keep going. So I have a few issues because it's like, okay, she looked bad, like beating up these people, but then you were there to get your belt back and they literally ran right by you. I don't know that it did her any favors. The fact that she hasn't been able to get her belt back. This is big bad Jade, But I did like her beating people up. I'll take that I take that version of Jade anytime.
Okay. Sean Wiley, all with the super chats tonight. You guys are so kind. Thank you.
It's the white energy.
It's the white energy.
Alfred couldn't handle it anymore.
Alfred could not handle the white energy. When I saw this was a thing, I was like, well, I have to order this because this is going to just be the gift that keeps on giving.
Oh, yeah.
Better than Airheads and their flavor, the White Mystery, which gave me decades of entertainment.
White Mystery?
White Mystery. That's gonna be my hip hop
I just
name.
received a text message from Alfred Saxton, which is his actual name on my phone. Okay.
Yes. My connection got shut off and resetting now. I'll see you on Tuesday. Oh, did he just call us the C word? Yeah. No. Thank you, Alfred. Oh man.
Let's read this super chat with your white energy, please.
Sean Wiley, $10. Do you guys think any Ring of Honor or original Adam Cole or Samoa Joe will be the only Ring of Honor guys that might beat Jericho, maybe even Lethal, Nyros? Steals Cargill's TNT belt. Angle is totally hilarious. I mean, Adam Cole, I don't think is wrestling anytime soon.
Yeah, there was a couple of news report that this concussion that he's suffering from is a little more serious than what they thought. So just given the time that he needs to recover, and we obviously wish him a speedy recovery, I do think that whoever beats Jericho for this, I mean, they had to put this belt on Jericho to elevate it, right? Jericho is a big mainstream name. So whoever it is.
Oh, now Issa's frozen.
We'll see.
I can see
everybody's leaving you. It's the white energy.
It's the white energy. The white energy puts some people off, and I understand it. I think Samoa Joe versus Jericho will be awesome. I don't know who will win, but that could be a really, really great match.
Samoa Joe got his own belt to defend.
That's true. Maybe they'll unify them because Ring of Honor doesn't have a TV deal. So why do you need a TV champion? Ethan Page versus Isaiah Cassidy, with Ethan Page getting a pretty easy win.
Yeah, literally in like 30 seconds. It was a squash.
Yeah. Then the main event, Sean Spears and FTR versus the Embassy, and they're in Toronto tonight. There were sharpshooters all around at the end of this match. What did you think of this match?
What do you think of Sean Spears bringing back the 10 gimmick?
They probably had the lawyers look at it and they're like, you can't trademark a number.
Right. Okay. Well, I like this match. I thought it was a lot of fun. Of course, the end got convoluted. We haven't gotten to the end, but the match itself was a lot of fun. FTR is very over. Everything that they did, the crowd just loves. It was. I was excited to see somebody come out and call them out for one of these titles because they seem to just be wrestling to wrestle while holding all of these belts. They need to start defending some of them. So that was exciting. But the match itself, it was fun.
It was a fun match. I think that Sean Spears had an interesting start and stop in AEW early on. It seemed like he was getting quite a push. Then he wasn't. And yeah, I think, I like seeing him elevated. I think he's incredibly talented.
Yeah, but it makes no sense that he's buddy with Wardlow now after everything he put Wardlow through when Wardlow was feuding with MJF.
Yes. Find my photo at Access.
Ah,
Number
10.
10. Yes. We went and saw him wrestle like one of his first indie dates right when AEW was starting up. It was a very fun show. Bought a t-shirt. That was cool. But yeah, it's so FTR and Sean Spears getting the win was good. This was a good match. But then the big surprise at the end was the Kingdom with Mike Bennett and Maria Kanellis and Matt Taven heading to the ring. Now, I did not have this spoiled for me. And you know what's funny? I would have guessed Maria Kanellis would be someone Triple H would have wanted to bring back to WWE. So good on TK, I guess.
Ooh, okay. I would not guess that.
I mean, their theme music was so good in WWE. I love that theme song.
I mean, yeah,
I love that. If that was Bray Wyatt's new theme, you would hear me going, that's the most brilliant theme ever for Bray Wyatt. I'm going to redub Bray Wyatt's entrance to the ring tonight. Okay, I'm not going to do it. Somebody else out there, I want you to redub and tweet at me Bray Wyatt coming to the ring tonight to Mike and Maria Kanellis' theme song from WWE.
No.
Be epic.
I figured they were going to get picked up because I saw the reports that they were free agents. I mean, they wasted no time getting a new contract. And like I said, I was excited to just see them come out and call out FTR for the Ring of Honor championships. They need to defend these belts and stop wrestling just to wrestle.
Sheed Black saying, Issa, no daddies on AEW, LOL.
The 0.1% that you can call daddy is obviously Daddy Ass and Wardlow. Wardlow's definitely daddy, if you know what I mean.
Like Tiffany Stratton's type of daddy, or
like daddy.
Speaking of fathers, though, I might have some exclusive news.
Are you having a baby?
No, I might be revealing a mystery in the world of professional wrestling that I have some inside intelligence on.
Oh, when?
I don't know yet. I just remembered that I have this information, and I'm like, I should probably do something with that because nobody ever gives me scoops. But I asked a question and I got an answer, and yeah, maybe I'll do a little thing.
Can't wait.
Yeah, I'll tell you off the air what it is.
Or text it to me, and then I'll see it after it's already broken.
It's true. It's a month from now.
I'm kidding.
Like, I'll send you a text of me holding a newspaper with today's date to prove that it was sent then. Yeah, I don't know that this was the bombshell ending Tony Khan thought this was going to be, with the Kingdom coming out at the end.
And then we have Wardlow.
Yeah.
I hate how much momentum Wardlow has lost.
Oh, yes, with Samoa Joe and Wardlow coming out, heading down to even the odds.
Every main event of AEW just finishes the same way, you know?
Look, when this was live, I just want people to pay note of this. When we get a live AEW, we tend to be pretty entertained, pretty hyped, pretty good.
They're not putting effort into Rampage, live or not.
No. I don't get it, man.
You do get bigger names that you would on like an AEW Dark, for example, you know, but it just doesn't feel like must-watch television. And I've said it a million times. If we didn't cover it, AEW Rampage is the perfect show to put in the background Saturday morning while you're having your coffee and getting ready for your day.
I kind of would rather watch NXT Level Up some weeks.
Oh, you know, Ivy Nile wrestled on NXT Level Up tonight.
Oh, see, look at that.
Yes.
You know, here's why I would rather watch NXT Level Up. No one ever spoils NXT Level Up, so
You're right.
it might as well be live.
I
know?
do pretty good avoiding the Rampage.
I always see something.
The Rampage spoilers. But
I did see people snarkily trolling, saying, "I can't believe AEW is going in this direction based on the end." Like, people were dissing the reveal at the end of this episode pretty hard online.
I see. I didn't even see any of that. Maybe I have too many people muted at this point.
It's true. Lately,
I miss everything.
Yeah, lately I'm just like, whatever. Like, if you are shitty, like, I'm just blocking you. I don't care. Overall, a decent night of wrestling. A decent night of high points, of low points, of light
and darkness.
Ooh. I did enjoy SmackDown. I just wish, because I feel like we all tuned in for Bray and they saved him for the end. A lot of it just felt like, get through it so we can get to Bray, you know?
Yes. She'd Black $1.99. When is the next AEW pay-per-view? The Pinnacle is back? Question mark.
Full gear. Full gear in November.
Yes.
The Pinnacle is back without MJF and their faces now, apparently.
Yeah. So what else you got going on this weekend?
I have to cover an event here in Puerto Rico for Lucha Libre Online, WWC. So I'm going to be doing some interviews with them. And then I'm going to see my parents on Sunday. How exciting.
It's very exciting. Well, Issa's online and NYC Demon Diva. That's Diva with a 1. Alfred Konuwa was at This Is Nasty.
No. What are you doing this weekend?
Oh, I'm actually going back to the Bay Area. I'm going to go see my family.
Oh, yeah, that's right. We thought you were already gone.
Yeah, going to go do that. It's going to be nice.
Well, are you guys driving?
It's just going to be me. I'm driving. So, yeah.
You're driving. Okay, well, have a
safe
safe
went and
drive,
rented my car today. It's good. You know, and before I go, I want to leave everybody with this thought.
Sometimes the world looks perfect. Nothing to rearrange. Sometimes you get the feeling like you need some kind of change. No matter what the odds are this time, nothing's going to stand in my way. This flame in my heart, like a long-lost friend, gives every dark street a light at the end. See you next week.